Blitz!
I'm Travis Downey, this is Adam Rosenberg, and this is the playoff installment of the Northwest Florida Daily News' Prep Football Blitz. Regular season, thing of the past, we're getting to the portion of the year that everyone plays for, that being the playoffs, and we'll start Class 1A, Freeport, a second straight district title. They're at home, they're playing Liberty County. Two teams with pretty good records, 8 wins apiece. How do you see this one going now?
I'm going to go with Freeport, kind of just based on the home field advantage type deal and the fact that they've been so solid all year long. Liberty County does average over 300 yards rushing per game, but something like 30 passing yards a game. I think with such a one-dimensional attack, Freeport will be able to kind of key in and shut down the run. Maybe not completely, but enough that the passing game won't be able to hurt them. And, I think Freeport at home. Yeah,
I like Freeport as well. You mentioned all those rushing yards from Liberty County. One concern is that will wear out a Freeport side that, they're not blessed with great numbers.
Right.
So that would be my one concern. But, I mean, this is something Freeport's seen before. I'm going to go with Freeport as well to move on to the next round. Moving on to Class 2B, we have Walton, runners up in their district, 7-3 on the year, on the road, driving over to Tallahassee to play a Taylor County team that's 10-0 on the year. How do you like the Braves' chances?
I think it could be a good game. I think, obviously, Taylor County is the best team they'll have faced all year. Undefeated. They have a 1,200-yard rusher in Tony Jackson, number 1. Their inside linebackers racked up a boatload of tackles, and their defense has been pretty stout all year. They haven't allowed over 21 points in a game all season. And Walton's a team that likes to beat people by scoring a lot of points, so it's kind of going to be one of those things to watch, Walton's offense versus that defense. I think the fact that Taylor County is at home and they're undefeated, you just got to go with Taylor County in a situation like this.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Taylor County as well. You mentioned the offense-defense matchup with Walton and Taylor County. I'm interested to see how Walton's defense in that front seven, which has been the strength of that defense the past 2 years, how they can measure up or hold their own against a back like Tony Jackson. You mentioned 1,200 yards rushing, 15 touchdowns. He's a force, so that's going to be interesting to see. But I like Taylor County as well. And then Class 3A, Choctaw coming off of a tough loss at Fort Walton Beach, going on the road to Bishop Kenny. I'm going to go with Choctaw on this one. I just think that sour taste from Fort Walton Beach, all those turnovers, they still have to be kicking themselves in the backside for that. I mean, 4 fumbles, interception, really kind of gave that one away in a sense. So it was a great game by Fort Walton, but Choctaw's got to be upset with themselves there. I'm going to go with Choctaw on the road.
You mentioned the sour taste. I kind of go the opposite way with that and think that maybe Fort Walton Beach is going to beat Choctaw 2 weeks in a row here. I think the way they lost that game, all the emotion and all the build-up, it's one of those things where, it's going to be a hangover from that loss. And plus the fact that they got to take a long trip out to Jacksonville. They got to play these guys on their home field. I mean, you can't discount that long of a road trip for a high school football game. And plus, Bishop Kenny's had a great season. They're 7-4, and they've played some good opponents. I think Bishop Kenny at home is going to win this one.
4A now, Crestview. Let's talk about tough losses. Niceville lost with them. Crestview going on the road to Pine Forest. How do you see this one taking shape?
Well, you mentioned the Niceville loss, and one thing you got to be worried a little bit about if you're a Crestview fan is talking to some of those players this week. They've been, mentioning they want to get another shot at Niceville.
Right.
So, they got to remember that they got to play.
First things first.
They got to take on Pine Forest on the road this week. That's not exactly a foregone conclusion. I think Crestview definitely has a chance to win this game. I think Lucius Purifoy for Pine Forest is just going to be too big of an obstacle to overcome. The best probably single player that Crestview will have faced all year. And I think him versus Jerry Seiler could be a fun little back and forth to see who kind of answers whose big plays and whatnot.
DJ McClure for that.
Right. Yeah. But I think Crestview on the road, they're going. Like I said, I can see this game going either way. But I think Pine Forest is just a little bit too much, too athletic.
Yeah, I think it's a toss-up type of game as well. I'm going to side with Pine Forest for the same reasons you mentioned. I also think with Crestview, all those mistakes against Niceville and the kicking errors. I mean, it's tough. I'm going to go with Pine Forest in a close one, though. And then that brings us to our final game there in 4A, a big matchup. Navarre, district runner-up, and then traveling to Niceville at Eagle Stadium. Should be a packed house.
Oh, yeah.
How do you see this one going?
I think this could be the game of the year as far as our area is concerned.
Yeah.
As far as the build-up, the atmosphere, the actual play on the field. I think Niceville and Navarre, it kind of creates just a great contrast in styles too. You get Navarre, big plays, kind of a little bit more flashy as far as how they score. Niceville is kind of just pounded in there. I think Navarre is going to get the upset win. They've got so much momentum from this year. They've kind of got that team of destiny feel going. I think Navarre on the road kind of pulls off the mild upset.
You look at our picks in the paper from Thursday, and almost to a man, everyone was picking Navarre to win at Niceville, which I think at the beginning of the season, no one would have thought that. I'm going to go with Navarre as well. And I'm sure we'll hear about this leading up to the game. But I just think Navarre, that big play offense. Now, granted, if Niceville's defense hems those in, I don't like Navarre's chances of putting together those 12, 13 play drives against Niceville's defense. But if they can pop off a few of those big plays, I think their defense is salty enough to hold a lead. So I'm going to go with Navarre as well on the road to beat Niceville.
And Niceville's the kind of team that uses this kind of doubt and people not believing that they have a chance to win, and they can use that to their advantage too. Another game I wouldn't be surprised no matter what happens.
Right, yeah, it's going to be a great game.
But anyway, we'll see how many of these local teams survive and move on to next week, and we'll be here to bring you another edition of the Blitz. Thanks for tuning in.